Minoxidil was never designed to grow hair. It was developed as a blood pressure medication. Researchers noticed the hair growth side effect by accident, and it became the world's most used hair loss treatment. A peer-reviewed study from Yonsei University compared a natural plant compound to minoxidil on 4 of the most important hair growth signals your scalp produces. On all 4, including IGF-1, the primary signal that tells your follicles to grow, the natural compound won. The compound is called Oleuropein, and almost no one is covering this. So what is Oleuropein? Let's start with the basics, because most people have never heard of Oleuropein, even though they've almost certainly consumed it. Oleuropein is the primary active polyphenol in olive leaves and unprocessed olives. It's the compound responsible for that bitter, peppery taste you get from a high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Oleuropein has some general anti-aging properties. Its autophagy activation and its AMPK-mTOR pathway, but the hair connection is a different story. To understand why the 2015 study results matter, we need to spend about 90 seconds on how our hair actually grows, because without that context, the findings won't make a lot of sense. So, the hair cycle. Hair doesn't grow continuously. It cycles through 3 distinct phases. Anagen is the active growth phase. It can last anywhere from 2 to 6 years. And the length of your hair is almost entirely determined by how long your follicles stay here. Catagen is a brief transition, roughly 2 weeks, and then telogen is the resting phase, where the follicle is dormant before the hair eventually sheds. Most forms of hair loss, pattern baldness, stress-related shedding, age-related thinning, share one underlying feature: follicles spending progressively less time in anagen and more time in telogen. Shorter growth phases, thinner, weaker hair shafts, eventually miniaturization, where the follicle itself shrinks and the hair it produces gets finer and finer until it disappears. Now let's look at minoxidil. What does it do exactly? Its primary mechanism is vasodilation. It widens blood vessels in the scalp, increases blood flow to the follicle, and through that increased nutrient delivery, it extends the anagen phase and pushes some telogen follicles back into growth. That is a real mechanism, but it's also a relatively indirect one. And the 2015 Yonsei study tested oleuropein against minoxidil on something way more fundamental: the molecular signals that live inside the follicle itself. Let's look at the study. In June 2015, researchers at Yonsei University in Seoul published a study titled "Topical Application of Oleuropein Induces Anagen Hair Growth in Telogen Mouse Skin." Here's the design. They took these kind of mice, which are C57BL/6N mice, a strain widely used in hair biology research, that were in the telogen or resting phase of their hair cycle. One group received topical minoxidil. The other group received topical oleuropein at 0.4 milligrams per mouse per day. They then measured 2 things: visible hair regrowth and the molecular signals driving that regrowth inside the scalp tissue. The visual results alone were significant. Oleuropein-treated mice showed accelerated transition from telogen back to anagen, meaning their follicles reactivated faster. The follicles themselves were also larger, which is a marker of follicle health and shaft thickness. But the molecular data is what's most impressive here. The researchers measured mRNA expression, essentially how actively genes for hair growth factors were being expressed in the scalp tissue of both groups. For 4 growth factors, IGF-1, KGF, HGF, and VEGF, oleuropein's upregulation was significantly greater than minoxidil's. So I want to be precise about what this study is and isn't. It was conducted in mice. Mouse skin and human scalp have meaningful differences. You cannot directly extrapolate these numbers to human outcomes, right? The researchers acknowledge this. What the study does provide is mechanistic proof of concept. Oleuropein activates the anagen phase and upregulates key growth signals more effectively than minoxidil in this model. That's significant enough to take seriously. So how does oleuropein actually do this? The study points to one specific pathway: Wnt β-catenin. Now here's a simple version. Think of beta-catenin as your follicle's on switch. In an actively growing follicle, it's inside the nucleus of your dermal papilla cells. You switch it on, hair's growing. In a resting follicle, it's not there. The switch is off. What the researchers saw was oleuropein pulling beta-catenin into the nucleus. It flipped the switch on. The Wnt beta-catenin pathway is exactly what stem cell therapies and next-generation hair loss drugs are chasing right now. A lot of researchers consider it a more fundamental lever on the hair cycle than the blood flow pathway minoxidil works through. Minoxidil doesn't really touch it. Oleuropein appears to hit it directly, and that's the distinction worth paying attention to. It activates the Wnt pathway DHT suppresses and its anti-inflammatory effects, one of the most studied aspects of the compound, reduce NF-κB activity and pro-inflammatory cytokines in tissue. And the same logic is what our hair growth boost serum is built around. The core active Denzidil is an award-winning microalgae complex. It is a Wnt beta-catenin activator. Different molecule than Oleuropein, but same lever. So instead of touching the hormone, it works on the downstream growth signal DHT suppresses. Links in the description if you want to find out more. So who benefits most? Three groups have the strongest mechanistic case for using Oleuropein as part of a hair protocol. First, people with early to moderate androgenetic alopecia. If your follicles are miniaturizing but still present and active, targeting the Wnt pathway and reducing scalp inflammation is directly relevant. Advanced alopecia, where follicles have been dormant for years, is a different situation that likely requires more aggressive clinical intervention. Second, people experiencing stress-related or illness-triggered shedding, what clinicians call. This involves a rapid mass shift of follicles into telogen. Oleuropein's ability to accelerate transition back to anagen is mechanistically very well suited here. And third, men and women over 40 experiencing gradual age-related thinning. When signaling weakens with age, anagen phases shorten. Oleuropein may help sustain that signaling, and the systemic anti-inflammatory effects create a better scalp environment for the follicles that remain. But if you're under 30 with sudden acute shedding, that's a different clinical picture. You should definitely start with a dermatologist or trichologist first before adding any supplements. And now the practical question, topical or oral? What form and how much? The 2015 study used topical Oleuropein applied directly to the scalp. There's a strong rationale for that route. You're delivering the compound to exactly where it needs to work, right? Without depending on systemic absorption and redistribution. The limitation is that standardized commercial topical Oleuropein products don't yet widely exist. The category is emerging, but it's not developed the way minoxidil topicals are. If you want a topical that targets the same Wnt pathway through a different validated active, that's what our hair growth boost serum is built around, with Denzidil, linked below. But for actual Oleuropein, the most accessible form right now is oral olive leaf extract. Look for a product standardized to at least 20% Oleuropein. That number really matters, so you should look for it on the label. The research on Oleuropein supports 250 to 500 milligrams per day, and it's best to take it with a meal containing fat. Oleuropein is fat soluble, and absorption is meaningfully better alongside dietary fat. I also put the olive leaf extract I personally use in the description below. Make sure it's third-party tested and that the Oleuropein percentage is clearly stated. That one detail separates effective products from the ones that aren't really worth your time. Subscribe if you want to keep following the science on longevity, hair science breakthroughs, and all things healthy aging. I publish every week, and I always show you the mechanism, not just the headline. And drop a comment below. Are you currently using anything for hair loss? I would genuinely like to know what's working for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.